Alright, this is it. I'm hearing we are ready for our finale. It's Splatoon 3 with LaurieDBunnykins. Get your donations ready and enjoy this run. Best of luck, Laurie.
Are going to be playing as well, actually, I would usually say we're playing as a Squid Kid, but Helix, are we playing as a Squid Kid or an Octo Kid?
We are playing as a Squid Kid.
Oh, Inkling won. All right.
Sure did.
So yeah, we're playing as a Squid Kid. I'm gonna choose my own little settings here. Oh, wondering which hairstyle I should go with because there are a lot of options. I'll go with the default. I do like the look of it a lot. And one more character customization question, real quick. Helix, what's your stance on pineapples?
Pineapples are great. And you know what? They belong on pizza. That's right, I said it.
Alright, then we're going to do the pineapple hair for the small fry. But yes, welcome to Splatoon 3. For those not in the know, it is a paint-based third-person shooter with a pretty in-depth story mode. You have a lot of things to go into, and mostly I'm going to go into the run. This little test area, funny story, so time starts when we load into the single player. It's like half a second faster to load into it through this little area I'm in right now. But it works as like a neat little test range to warm up before the run. But trust me, I've warmed up for the past 2 hours. I'm ready to go. So I'm going to count us down in 3, 2, 1, go. Starting off this run, we do have a little bit of a cutscene. Thankfully, it's not the 3-minute tutorial that you actually start the game off with in a new file, but we are going to get a little bit of a story introduction. Essentially, in that tutorial, we learn that the Great Zapfish is missing, which is kind of like a giant power source of the full city. And Captain Cuttlefish here is like, so the last 2 times this happened, the Octarians were the ones that stole the Zapfish. So surely it's them again. And we gotta go stop them. We're gonna be the new Agent 3 of the new Squid Beak Splatoon. Would you look at that? It's the name of the game. And getting a little bit more in-depth with movement. For those that haven't played the game, it's fairly simple. You have 2 forms. You have your kid and your squid. When you are a kid, you can shoot your weapon. And when you are a squid, you can swim through the ink that you've put down on the ground in order to move much faster. It's also how you refill your ink tank, which is kind of like your ammo. And the gameplay's pretty simple. We're just going to move between those forms, and we have to open these kettles, which have levels inside of them. This game's story mode is vastly different from the previous 2. However, its kind of prologue area, the crater, is kind of a half parody of those previous story modes. So the beginning of the run is going to be fairly simple before it gets a lot more complicated later on. But it's a good way to introduce the mechanics. There are a few like really weird level mechanics, a big one being these like balloons which blow up in our color ink. And this level does also introduce us to our first enemy, our first Octo Trooper, who we're zooming in on right now. We're just going to run past it. There are a bunch of different types of Octo Troopers, and this one is not threatening at all. At the end of the level here, we're going to throw Small Fry into the Zapfish barrier before picking up the Zapfish. In every other previous game, the sub-weapon you have at this point is a Splat Bomb. This one, Small Fry, is notably not an explosive. However, since he's a sub-weapon in the code of the game, he instantly breaks Zapfish barriers. And with that, we can move on. We get power eggs for completing levels, which we can then use on the overworld to have Small Fry eat them up. Eat up this fuzzy ooze. And remove overworld barriers. And this is kind of going to be the big thing of the run. The crater is pretty linear, so you're just going to kind of see me play everything and break every barrier. But when we get into the main body of the run, it's a lot more open-ended. and routing your power eggs that you get from beating levels is going to be a huge deal. This style level actually has a pretty huge deal with. I've mentioned the main weapon, my hero shot, and the sub weapon, which right now I have small fry. I'm going to talk about the meter in the top right, the special weapon. So when you ink enough ground, or enough turf, and you fill your special gauge, you get to use a special weapon. In the multiplayer, there are a multitude of special weapons, and you will be seeing, I think, only one during the course of the run, which is the Splashdown. One that is actually not in multiplayer in this game and comes from the multiplayer of Splatoon 2. I'm going to use it as I go off of this ramp here. And essentially what I did there is the ramp launches you forward and in the air a little bit. And Splashdown, as a special, you jump up in the air and then splash down with a giant, like, radius of ink. So if I use the Splashdown while going off the ramp, I get a bunch of extra height off of that ramp and can get a lot higher up that tower than normal. And it saves a tiny bit of time. So with that level done, we can move on to the third one. And I'm going to take this opportunity to explain a little bit how Fuzzy Ooze works, because we're going to get very familiar with it throughout this run. So I need to inject Small Fry with power eggs in order to destroy it. And when I destroy it, there are a few phases to how it breaks. Essentially, after Small Fry eats it, it starts glowing, and then it gets this sort of like hard shell, and then it completely disappears after it goes into the hard shell. You can start moving through it as soon as it turns into the hard shell before it fully disappears. And there's a pretty big skip with that a little bit later. But speaking of skips, this level also has one with one of the new movement mechanics of Splatoon 3. So I'm going to ink the side of the switch to not activate the switch, but so that I can swim on it, hopefully. There we go. And then I'm going to use a Squid Surge, which is a new movement mechanic where you can charge on a wall and then burst up that wall with like a little jump as well. And that allows me to get on top of where that switch is and get the key, and saves like 20 seconds in this level because I don't have to go to the other side of the level in order to activate the ink rail to grab that key. It can be a little bit tricky, because if you see on my reticle the little box around the circle in the middle, that is the weapon's shot spread. And when I shoot my weapon, it can put a bullet anywhere in that spread. That's known as shot RNG, and it can mess you up if you're trying to hit some pretty precise targets.
I have to interrupt you very briefly to note that for every $8 donation, we will verify the stream somehow.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure what that means, but it's up to you all to find out. So get those $8 donations in and put them toward that incentive.
Also, if you're wondering, at the end of that level, I quit out of the game because there is a pretty long cutscene, and it's actually faster to just quit out of the game, reload it, and re-enter the crater instead of watching the cutscene. We're gonna do that 2 more times, so I hope you like my home screen. It has bug fables on it. So this is the last level of the crater before the first boss, and it doesn't have too much going on. It kind of does introduce, in the context of the run at least, the concept of using Small Fry as a distraction. So, like, I can throw Small Fry at something, and he'll, like, start, like, all the other enemies in the area will kind of focus on him. But other than that, the level is pretty self-explanatory, but also it's kind of over before I can say much of anything. I just have to fight this enemy arena, which there are a lot of ways to go through this, but some of them are very confusing. The big thing that we want to make sure we do is that we end the arena and then immediately start climbing a pillar, because if we don't, we have to find a specific pillar to climb, and that one is pretty far away from the actual goal. But that's the end of the level.
When you have a moment, I also have a few donations.
Give me 1 second, because we are about to get into a pretty decently long boss fight.
Yeah,
But
just let me know when.
I just want to explain how that boss fight works real quick. Basically, DJ Octavio is the first boss here. The final boss of the previous 2 games is going to challenge us immediately. essentially what he's going to do is he's going to fire shots at us, or with his, yeah, he's going to fire his mech's like hands at us and try and punch us, and we need to shoot them back at him. However, in this fight, he also is going to introduce two mechanics, which are he has 3 different types of punches, and then he also has the ink vac starting in phase 2, which will suck up my ink. So I'm going to be using Splashdown a lot in this fight. One, because the spinning punch, one of the 3 types of punches he can do, I can't hit it until it lodges itself in the ground. And also because if I do it fast enough before he starts up his ink vac, I can actually kind of skip a cycle starting in phase 2 by dealing with the fist using a splashdown before the ink vac starts sucking up my ink and I can't hit him anymore. But with that being said, waiting for him to fire his fists makes this fight basically an auto-scroller. So here is your donation time.
Alright, thank you very much. Those $8 donations are rolling in. We have an anonymous $8 donation with no comment. $8 from JD Puppy, who says, I'm thinking that we should have a verified final run for the stream. What does everyone else think? And $8 from Oasis, who says, did someone say verify? So there's 3 of them right there. This is followed by a $5 donation from Rubicante, I hope I got that right, who says, putting this $5 towards the final incentive, and also to say that, definitively, pineapple does not belong on pizza. And since I put money toward this, that makes it official. Chat, if you want to prove me wrong, you know what you have to do. In all seriousness, I am so happy I've been helping out, been able to help out and hang out this past weekend. Never stop being awesome, fastest Furs. I love all of you. But seriously, heck pineapple on pizza. Finally, I have a $25 anonymous donation with no comment. Thank you all so much. Keep those $8 donations coming. And put them toward that incentive. Let's get it met.
I genuinely think my takes on my pizza hot take could get me kicked out of this group, so I'm not sure if I should share it. I will share this hot take if we meet the bonus level. How about that?
Oh my gosh, a double incentive? Huge. Let's go. We're at $85 of 1,500. Can definitely make it.
Definitely. So yeah, we're on the last phase of Octavio now, and I can kind of explain this because it's a lot simpler than the previous phases. So basically, in phase 2, you noticed I was throwing Small Fry in order to get him stuck in the ink vac so that the ink vac wouldn't block my shots. In this phase, he introduces open palm slams, which, when they hit the ground, let out a shockwave across the ground. So I don't want them to hit the ground because that shockwave is annoying to deal with and can break my armor, which is kind of how damage works in this game. I'll explain this real quick. Essentially, you take a few hits before your armor breaks, and when your armor breaks, you're in this vulnerable state where you're slowed down. You're mainly slowed down is the big thing, and if you take more damage well in the broken armor state, that's when you will actually die. And the open slam fist, the open palm slam is really easy at breaking your armor, and then you're sad. That being said, we're skipping another cutscene here by reloading the game after DJ Octavio's defeat. So again, I hope you guys like this title screen. Yep. This game has added a little customizable banner you put like stuff on your squid on online battles. So you guys might have seen there when I loaded into the Splatsville Plaza, I got a badge of DJ Octavio. And like badges are literal achievements, and you can put 3 of them on your tag. Oh no, I'm getting bullied for using light mode. Oh boy. Forgot that. I forgot about that one. I'll be real. But yeah,
you're getting bullied for light mode. I'm getting bullied for pineapple and pizza. Yeah, it'll happen.
It happens. We'll get through it together. What I'm getting at, or what I wanted to say though, is now we're in Alterna. Alterna, you might notice, looks very different from the Crater. Essentially, after the boss fight I did, DJ Octavia was like, I didn't steal the Zapfish, the Great Zapfish. And then the platform that we were fighting on falls beneath us. Captain Cuttlefish gets taken away by the Fuzzy Ooze. We don't know where the heck DJ Octavio is. And we're now in this really weird place with the other members of Squidbeak Splatoon. Agents 1 and 2, and Captain 3. Agents 1 and 2, if you've played these games, may look a little bit familiar. If you haven't, this is Callie and Marie, the Squid Sisters, the idol group of the first game. All 3 Splatoon games have an idol group, which are in lore the most kind of like famous musicians at that point in time, and also deliver the news every time you boot up the game, which the news is what tells you like the stage rotation in multiplayer. That being said, this game's idol group does play a pretty big role in the story, so we'll meet them soon enough. Also, you might have noticed I'm shooting my main weapon, my hero shot, a lot slower when I was moving into this first level here. All of our upgrades broke. So the crater starts you with a little bit of the normal game's upgrades. But now that we took a giant fall, our hero suit broke, and we now have an upgrade system. That upgrade system, I'll explain it more in a little bit, but essentially it is very important because the base hero shot that I now have is, it's not good. Let me say that much. It's a very tricky weapon to use. I'll do a little bit of shooting while I'm on this ink rail, so you can just kind of see, like, I can count the amount of shots that come out of this thing. So, yeah, getting that upgraded is going to be a huge deal in this run, but before we can deal with that, we do have to beat some levels. We also lost all of our power eggs that we got in the crater, so that's like it's not worth it to grind in the crater at all. This level's pretty simple. It's kind of like an obstacle, not an obstacle course, but kind of like a playground. We have to get 3 keys, and those keys are like all over the place, requiring different things to do. There's a strat where you can hit this ink furler with small fry, but usually if I mess it up once, I just grab that Trizuka, which is another special weapon, and use it there. This game has, in the single player, canned specials, where Splashdown is a special we will always have on our hero gear, but we can pick up some of the other multiplayer specials and be instantly able to use them. And that's what happens with that Trizuka right there. So, just continuing to get the keys. This squeegee on the wall is really annoying. It's invincible, and it like slurps up your ink as you put it down, so we have to get past it. But once we have all 3 keys, end of the level's in sight. We just need to open all of these doors, and now instead of collecting Zapfish, we're going to be collecting Alternalogs, which are like little like lore tidbits. Basically, each site, or each world, there are 6 worlds in this game. Each level you beat in them gives you a piece of that world's Alternalog. And then you complete that once you complete every level in a world. We're not going to be completing a lot of levels, is all I'll say. This game has a lot of overworld collectibles, including overworld power egg packs. So we can get a lot of our power eggs actually from the overworld instead of playing levels. On top of that, there are also like lore collectibles and like upgrade things we can get. And finding collectibles and inking the ground is how we get upgrade points, which is what we use to get our upgrades. We have to unlock upgrade trees with Sardinium, and then spend upgrade points to get the upgrades in those trees. So we're going to be getting a lot of other miscellaneous collectibles, because we need to get those upgrades I mentioned. This level's really easy. I just have to shoot that balloon in the middle to break all 16 targets, and free 1,400 eggs. So, with that done, I'm going to pick up a few things, including my first piece of Sardinium. We need 2 pieces of Sardinium to get to the first hero shot upgrade, which is what I want to get to before the first boss. This game differs a lot from Splatoon. In previous Splatoon games where you initially had to beat every level to access a world's boss, this game only has 3 bosses on sites 2, 4, and 6, And to beat the game, you just need to beat those 3 bosses. And, you know, get all the power eggs you need to get to those 3 bosses in the meantime. So, we can save power eggs by doing some skips. This skip here, I'm going to try and... It's going to probably take a few tries, but essentially, I'm going to try and jump around this patch of fuzzy ooze here. I opened this kettle as a backup, so if I need to jump to it for a spawn point, if I fail the skip, I can. But yeah, as you can see, there's like this tiny little ledge that I can swim on the other side of this gate, and I'm going to try and use it to... Oh, I almost got it there. But yeah, I'm going to try and use it to jump across and skip opening this barrier of fuzzy ooze. This one's pretty tricky. It's going to take... It's already taken a few tries, and it will probably take a few more. No. Oh my goodness. All right. Yeah, this is one of the ones that was definitely, like... I hit something. I don't know what I hit. You also... I'm going to take this time to explain, a little something. While I'm still running into this ooze. You might notice me prepping a small fry throw, as I go for this jump sometimes. It's due to a technique in this game called sub-strafing, sub-weapon strafing, where essentially, if you do it right, and I'm not perfect at it, but if you are holding out a bomb, like ready to throw it, but don't actually throw it, there we go, that's the skip, okay. You can, like, start swimming instantly at full speed. And that's useful for a few skips where we have to get set up on short notice. Speaking of getting set up on short notice, here's a skip I can only attempt once per save file. And I didn't even get close to it, yeah. Essentially, you see this tube here. And this is why I opened this level, so I didn't have to do the other skip again. This tube is what brings us to the next site, or the next world. There's a cutscene trigger here. This is where we meet... I mentioned we were going to meet this game's idol group. This is where we meet Deep Cut. Essentially... If you remember the ooze states I mentioned earlier, small fry eats it, it starts glowing, it gets the hard shell, it disappears. You can start moving through it while it's a hard shell, but cutscene triggers in Fuzzy Ooze don't appear until it disappears. So you can actually sneak your way through this cutscene trigger before it shows up, and not have to watch this like minute-plus long cutscene before... or this minute-long cutscene where we get introduced to Deep Cut. Because the game auto-saves every time you, like, remove a patch of fuzzy ooze, you can only practice this, like, you can only attempt this once per save file.
I was about to say, practicing this sounds awful.
You can technically, if you're practicing on an account that has a Nintendo Online subscription, like, use the save cloud, but as somebody who uses my only profile that has online to play the game, like casually,
yeah,
doesn't really work for me. So yeah, I wasn't expecting to get that one, but I thought I brought it up because it would be really hype if I did get it. That being said. So yeah, that was Shiver, Fry, and Big Man. And you might have noticed, I mentioned there were 3 bosses in this run, and there are 3 of those pop star idols. Wonder if that's a coincidence. Either way, we're moving on to Site 2 here, which is where the first major reading is coming from the agents, so we're going to go check out what that is. But before I do that, I'm going to do a lot of collecting. I mentioned the upgrade system earlier, as well as overworld egg cans. And, yeah, we're not going to be doing too many traditional levels to get the power eggs required. We're going to be doing a lot of overworld scouring. So it's a really fun part of the run where I need to make sure I know where everything is. I'm going to open this kettle for use in a few seconds. And then I'm going to grab this piece of Sardinium. And with this piece of Sardinium, I can finally upgrade my stupid level 1 hero shot into my level 2 hero shot, which is... You're going to instantly notice how good this is. So we upgrade the rate of fire, and... yeah. Everything is just so much better. And then after getting that egg can, I opened this level so that I can jump to it. And I'm going to use that as a jump point again, no worries. Good, landed on this platform. Get these two. This one, which is a golden record. There's a 25 can out here. There's a can of 100 eggs here. And then on the back of these crates is a small statue. This game, on top of... I mentioned the splash tag earlier. The multiplayer also has these lockers that you can decorate with any stuff you find, including stuff you find in Alterna. So that's really fun. And they give you upgrade points when you find them, which are super useful. I also nailed a jump there to skip a patch of like 1,000 fuzzy ooze, and then opened another patch of 1,000 fuzzy ooze, and we are now headed into the first of 3 boss fights. So here is the first of 3 Deep Cut members we're fighting. This is Fry. Fry is... I wonder how I should describe her. Fry's a really cool character. She, as her name might suggest, is pretty hot-headed. Definitely the big chaos agent of the 3. And fun fact about being named Fry, a fry is also the name for a group of eels. Which is probably why she's actually named Fry. But yeah, this is the first fight against Fry. Fry is the most luck-based of the 3 Deep Cut members. I'll just say that now. This first phase has 3 different attacks that she can use. Thankfully, I got a pretty fast one. And then after I hit all the masked eagles back at her, I need to climb up the Octo Stamp and splat her to deal damage. And I need to do that 3 times to win the fight. The second and third phase, as long as I don't like die or like absolutely fail an attack, she's gonna use the same attack every time. So if I do well on this attack, I won't have to do any repeat loops. Unfortunately, I got a little bit unlucky with 2 eels being in a row, but I still did really good on that attack. So I just need to climb up again, and there we go. That's the second hit. Unfortunately, these bosses do have a lot of cutscene in the middle, but it's nice. It's relaxing, you know? So the last phase here, I have my splashdown ready to go, and she's going to fire like a massive wall of eels at me, and I'm going to try and jump into the middle of it and splash down it. That went pretty well. I just need to get these like stragglers. And there we go. Fry is going to get stunned one more time. And that was a pretty good fight. I got pretty good luck all around, did good on the attacks that mattered, and also I got good spin luck. So, like, when you finish dealing damage to Fry, her Octo Stamp will, like, spin around for a little bit before stopping. You can't ink the face, so you need to climb up one of the other 3 sides. It's not, like, technically luck where she stops. It's kind of position-based, depending on, like, where she is and what way she's facing when the last eel hits her. But it's, like, not really possible to manipulate that well. It's, like it's not random, but it might as well be.
I have to cut in very quick to just say that these donations are coming in super fast. Here's $8 from Anonymous that says, "Verify me."
Well, after this cutscene, I will talk a tiny bit. There is a cutscene coming up. And then we're moving on to Site 3. Site 3, I'm not playing a single level, but I'm doing a few skips here and there. So once I'm into the main body of Site 3, you have a good, like, minute or so. All to yourself.
I'll be ready.
So after beating Fry, I'm going to jump straight back to where we just fought her. Drop down here to get this Sardinium that I broke open earlier, but didn't actually collect. And then there are 2 egg cans that I can get. And this will be good enough to open this 2,000 barrier to move on to Site 3. something I'm going to bring up now because it's going to be relevant for a skip in the next site, Site 3. You may have noticed so far, the fuzzy ooze barriers to move on to a new site are a pretty big amount of eggs. Skipping one of those would be a pretty big deal, huh? With that being said, before the donation minute, there is a small skip I want to do here. I mentioned there were 2 new movement options in this game, and a while ago I mentioned the Squid Surge. The other one, oh, that's funny. I've never done that. The other one is the Squid Roll, which is essentially if I'm moving at a high enough swim speed, and I flick my stick at least 90 degrees in a direction and jump soon afterwards, I will do like a roll at max speed in that direction. In combat, it also like blocks a little bit of damage, but in here, the main use is the movement of it, because I want to roll and land on this ledge, and that skips a patch of ooze. And with that, we are now in big collection mode, so Helix, take it away.
Alright, let's go. $8 from Theo Nixie, who says, "Hey, Laurie, warm regards from Theo and the Splatfest crew. Good luck on the run." This is followed by $4 from Sleepy, Theo, and Vesper. And they say, "Hey, Laurie, good luck from your sweaty tricolor pals. Here's half a verification."
Thank you.
$8 from Definitely Verified Nintendo. "Hello, this is Mr. David Nintendo, president of Nintendo, back again. Nintendo believes that pineapple on pizza is a matter of personal preference. Also, please officially verify this run for us. Thank you." Moonblaze Wolf donates $8. This account is verified because it's subscribed to Fastest Furs. Awoo! $8 from Lokai Husky, more verification please. An anonymous $8 donation, OMG, this is so good. Let's keep the verification train going. $32, that's 4 verifications from DVO XS. Pineapple, anchovy, and jalapeno are objectively the best pizza toppings. $80, 10 verifications from Dante Wolf, gotta go big verification. And a $10 donation from Verification with no comment. Nailed it. Thank you all so much.
Alright, perfect timing. 2 quick skips here. 1, I need to pick up a Sardinium, but I also want to skip this fuzzy ooze barrier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and jump into the water and ink the pedal to get into this level on the other side of the ooze barrier. So, you saw me jump in the water there. That was intentional. I'm trying to open this level over here. I see game saved in the bottom left when I get it right, just like that. So now I can jump on over to it. And this brings us to one of the biggest skips. This is Moxie Skip, found by Moxie K. Essentially, this giant patch of ooze here is worth like 2,000 to open. If I position myself correctly and then jump at it and hit a certain part, when I respawn after voiding out by hitting the ooze, it will respawn me on the other side of the ooze. And I will have skipped the 2,000 eggs barrier, kind of just by jumping funny. So, there you go. It's as simple as that. We just don't need those 2,000 eggs. So now we're on to Site 4. The second boss fight we need to do is here. There are a few eggs first. And also, we get one of my favorite parts of the run, which, don't worry about why I like it. But we'll get there. Just a few more eggs. There are a lot of hidden egg cans that I need to make sure I get. And then here, I'm getting an egg, and for an upgrade point, another sunken scroll. And this sunken scroll is the Sheldon jump scare. With that one done, I can jump over here. Skip a little fuzzy ooze patch by landing on that bridge. Throw this, break this 300, and grab this Sardinium. And now, not only should I have all the Sardinium I need, but I should also have, by the end of this collecting period, yeah, I'm bordering on 17 upgrade points right now, so I'm going to grab one more golden record in a few seconds, and then I'm going to be at 18, which is the amount I need. So as soon as we hop off of this ink rail, I'm going to get 3 upgrades here. I'm going to get the Splat Bomb, which is our first bomb. It's a pretty standard one. You throw it, it explodes a few seconds later. We're going to get the sensor, which allows us to see nearby enemies when we're submerged in our ink. That's going to be very useful, not for this boss fight, but for the next one. But the reason we get it now is because by getting it now, we unlock access to the last upgrade tree we need, which gives us the level 3 hero shot, which is about to absolutely shred this next boss fight. So we're going to hop in here, and we are going to get stopped once again. This time by Shiver. So Shiver, I mentioned a fry is a group of eel. Trivia question, what is Shiver a group of? Or rather, a Shiver a group of. Spoiler alert, you're looking at it. So yeah, with the level 3 hero shot, our goal here is to ink up Master Mega, the Megalodon, as much as possible. And with the level 3 hero shot, we just kind of absolutely shred Shiver. He can really only try to attack us once per phase. So this fight is a little bit sad for Shiver. We just kind of move to the board. A lot of people actually don't know that you can hit Master Mega while he's like swimming in the water like this. Like they wait for him to do an attack, but no, you can just kind of get him. So phase 3, he's going to... Oh, I've never seen him do that before. What is he doing? What? I've never seen this before. Wait, his attacks are so fast.
Too much verification.
Yeah, he got too verified, yeah. So what you're supposed to do in this fight is... I don't have enough ink right now, but you're supposed to throw small fry in his mouth. And that does a lot to him. Like when he attacks, you throw a small fry in his mouth like that. I've never... seen him do an attack pattern like that.
Of course it would happen in a marathon, always.
So that was fun. Thankfully, in old routes, we used to fight him with the level 2 hero shot, or her rather, because I'm talking about Shiver and not Master Mega. We used to fight Shiver with level 2 hero shot, so you would have to do this fight a lot more involved. And so I know how to do it, thankfully. But that was a little bit silly. Once we beat Shiver, we're going to collect the second treasure, and then, for the last time this run, I promise, we are going to close the game and reopen it to skip a cutscene.
So I'm gonna butt in real quick just to give an update on this incentive. We are at $275 of $1,500 for the After Alternative bonus level. Let's keep it going, let's get there.
Let's get there. Alright, so once we load back in, I actually want to jump back to Site 3. Because Site 3 does the silly little thing, I don't know exactly why, where it has a shortcut to Site 5 on it. So, instead of going through Site 4 to get to Site 5, we're just going to cut through Site 3. It's a pretty long pipe, but it'll be worth it. And this area has the it has a skip. I'm really excited to do this one, but it's also really hard. So I'll start off by explaining, getting to the skip, because it's a little bit involved. We have a few other skips, like a few other much smaller skips. I'm going to grab this egg can here. Going to open this kettle from across Fuzzy Ooze, and then I'm going to start getting small fry to eat this ooze, jump down here, grab an egg can, and that is the last egg can we should need for the run. Yeah, we're at 1200 right now. Perfect. Now it's time to do 2 skips. This one's easy. I just need to stand on the guardrail, jump here, and I skipped 300 egg. This last barrier here is 3,000 eggs, and I have 1,200. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by throwing some splat bombs over in this direction, and I'm going to try and ink like a small ledge that's just like over there. And then I need to throw small fry at the gusher, squid roll off of it, and yeah, you might be able to see the small ledge now. I need to land on this tiny, tiny little ledge. So wish me luck, this could take a hot minute.
Good luck.
It's definitely a really hard skip, and like, it's one of those skips that people, like when they're learning the game, will do alternate routes just to not do. But as soon as I saw the skip for the first time, and I knew I was in this event, I was like, well, I just have to learn this, you know? Yeah, that was a bit too far to the side there. I got this, don't worry.
I believe in you, Laurie.
I heard the splash. Okay. I got a splash, which means I landed in the ink, but I was still in a fuzzy ooze area. So I still like got hit by it. It means I was really close to the right position. But not quite there. I can bring up a fun fact, I guess. They, like, actually changed the gusher physics to try and prevent people from doing stuff like this in this game, but we're doing it anyways. Thanks to Small Fry. Small Fry kind of, like, activates things, like, a little bit later because he needs to latch onto them and then bite them. But, yeah, we use that to advantage. We use that to our advantage here. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. That took a little bit. But yeah, that's an Owen skip. I love that skip. It's so cool.
Fantastic. Well done. I have to butt in very briefly again to read this $256 donation from JD Puppy, who says, I asked Shock for a big verification. I really hope he makes a really big verification. Thank you so much, JD Puppy. Oh gosh, there it is. Oh no.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just riding rails right now, so tell us about it.
Oh, wonderful. Okay. Yeah, there's your information, Laurie. There's a big verification right over the sponsor box.
Oh.
There's also $8 here from
it.
Kinda Nerdy Housewife, who says, I would like to verify the Tiny Fastest Furs logo on the bottom right of the layout if possible, please. That has been done. Just tell me when to stop, Laurie.
We're choosing what to verify? Oh no.
Apparently.
I have a thing to explain here that I might not get, but I'm going for it. I'm not great at it. This game has a lot of very particular things in it. This is, I'm going to be attempting a menu storage. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to start over a level, and then press B to gain my cursor back in the pause menu as it's fading out. And in the last couple frames before the start over, I'm going to try and press A on the back to Alterna button. And that will store a pause menu so that next time I pause, it automatically selects the third thing on that pause menu. I kind of have a half cue for how I get it, but Unfortunately, it's still just really difficult. I probably won't try it forever. And also, I can't verify once I got it, because if I get it and then press pause, it will use up the storage. So yeah, this is like a... That might have been it. Again, I can't check once I got it. So I'm just going to go in with the confidence that that was it. Because again, it's hard to tell. So now we're into our third of the 3 boss fights. This is the one, the only. The Big Man. And Big Man is a manta. A group of mantos is not called a Big Man. Unfortunately. However, if you're a fan of Super Mario Sunshine, you might be interested in this fight. So, this is why we have the sensor specifically as the upgrade we took on our way to getting the upgraded hero shot. Big Man, every time you shoot him enough, he splits in half. And he has, there's both going to be a real and a fake Big Man. And the sensor will pick up the fake Big Mans as yellow, a standard enemy, but will pick up the pink, but will also pick up a pink reaction on the sensor, and that is the boss reading, the real Big Man. So using this fight, or using this upgrade, makes this fight a lot easier. Oh yeah, there's an armor break. I got destroyed. The fake ones will like throw bombs at you and stuff, as you realize, or as you saw there. I got hit with a splat bomb. God, what's going on the stream layout? What?
Yeah, you might also notice that we've just reached $14,000 raised for Trans Lifeline.
That's so true, we did!
Thank you all so much, for real.
Thank you all so much. Alright, there we go. By the time we get to the point where we use the splashdown, it's pretty much free. So, that is the fight against Big Man.
I also want to give a quick update on the incentive. We are now at $945 out of $1,500 needed for the After Alternative bonus level. We're just over 500 away. We can do it.
We got this. The final section does go fast. There are some cutscenes, though, so let's not worry about it.
There better be, because I have so much to read.
There would usually be a cutscene here, I would usually skip this cutscene, but I need to keep my menu storage. If I even got it, I'm still not 100% sure. So after this cutscene, there's more cutscenes as we start the final section of the game, so push it. Let's go. We can go now.
$8 from Shripe, who says, check. $8 from Sarenmu, who says, reminder, it's not too late to verify your support for trans rights by donating $8 to Trans Lifeline. What else are you going to spend that money on, a latte? Here's 5 more verifications that my wallet can't take much more of this, lol, and that we need this bonus level. I've got to tap out, but come on, let's push to the finish and to new records. Quick reminder that if we meet this incentive, we will in fact have a new Fastest FursFall Fest PB. Am I good to keep going?
Yeah, we're just cutscening.
Alright, Mr. _ Shasta with $8. Ooh, I want to get Bork verified! $32 from Partyman X, 4 times verified message. Pizza is healthy, it comes from the earth. Comfy Panda donates $45. This dono is for the 22.5 boop checkborks that have been verified so far. Keep those $8 donos coming and let's hit the bonus level incentive. $8 from Savage Rizrobe. The best use of $8 is getting myself verified and putting another paw on screen. This whole marathon will make an amazingly positive impact. Trans rights are human rights. Slarth the Sneck donates $40.69 to gimme that blue boop checkbork. And a big $313 from Jason LaRose. I know I said I was done donating, but I say a lot of things. 1,337 is a round number, right? Let's boop those checkborks and verify all the incentives. And the last one I have before I refresh is $8 from Rubicante, who says, "Hello, I would like to verify the 3 in Splatoon 3, please."
Oh.
Wow, thank you all so much.
Just give me, like, verified earrings while you're at it. While you are refreshing to see if you have new stuff, I do have a skip to explain. We're heading into the final section of the game, which is we have to invade this rocket ship. So starting off, there's another minute-long cutscene with Deep Cut. This one is a lot easier to skip. All I need to do is ink the side of this area here and kind of latch myself onto this tiny little area that's technically a wall, and then do a squid surge up it, and boom, we skip a minute-long cutscene. Great way to start off the final area of the game. I'm actually really happy I got that as fast as I did. That skip is really hard to do when you're nervous. So, thank the heavens, is all I'll say about that. And now we're heading into Alterna Space Center. The final level of the game. And to start, we are going to have a little bit of a, not a stealth section, but we're not going to get any of our hero gear, but we are going to be allowed to have Small Fry with us. So I'm going to talk a little bit during this section about the menu storage that I hopefully set up during Big Man. Essentially, so I stored a pause menu on the third pause button selection option, which normally is back to Alterna if you're in a level, but in the rocket, there are actually 3 options. There is continue, back to camp, and on repeat playthroughs of a section you have already completed, a skip button. This skip button isn't available to me because this is not a repeat playthrough. I have not beaten this section before. However, when I pause the game, it will hit that skip button with the menu storage. That being said, you might notice in the top left, I only have 1 circle. This is because I have 1 life. Any death I have in any section of the rocket will use up that menu storage instantly. And I want to save it for the first phase of the final boss. So I can't die here. Or else I either lose a lot of time or reveal to you all that I'm a failure and messed up the menu storage, and then you get to laugh at me about being stressed over a trick that I didn't even get. That being said, the rest of the section is fairly simple, but it's also pretty close to over. So if you have like 1 or 2 donations you can pick now, trust me when I say we will eventually get to some big cutscenes.
Well, y'all are letting me breathe, which you shouldn't be doing. Get more donations in, come on. A quick update on the bonus level again. Let me just triple check. Yes, we are still at $945.69 out of $1,500 needed to reach that bonus level. How much more time do you think we have, Laurie?
From now until the end of the run? Oh, I don't know. 20 minutes tops?
Ooh. You heard the bunny. Get your donations in right now. Come on, do it.
Alright, so now we're at the end of the section here. This little circle pad on the ground gives us our hero gear back. And now I want you to pay attention to this loading screen, because as you might notice, we are loading out of Section 1. This is important because we are going to do a big skip in between Sections 1 and 2. So I need to, at the very beginning, make sure I only break those 2 specific boxes, ink the area around this pipe, and then I'm going to substrafe and squid roll onto this pipe and start climbing it. It's pretty tricky. You need to have like good positioning and speed to make sure you get up it correctly and then can get off it correctly. But once I'm at the top of it here, I want it to bump me to the side, which I didn't get, unfortunately. I was too far in the middle. So we'll try it again. Didn't have enough speed there. This is looking good. Not enough speed again. Too far to the side. This should be perfect. This should be perfect, actually. Yeah, we land up here. and we jump across those boxes that I broke very meticulously. I have to be careful when I do that jump to avoid a kill plane. And then I'm above this area here. And when I fall, I will land at this little part, this little metal platform. So, Helix, you remember when I said that on that last loading screen, I was loading out of Area 1 into an in-between section between Areas 1 and 2?
I remember as well as I can while drowning in verifications, yes.
We are now loading into Area 4 of the Alterna Space Center.
Oh, good.
That saves like 5 minutes.
Let's go.
This is the hard part to do deathless. This is the part where I have to be careful, especially because I'm going to try a really stupid skip at the very end of it. So this section here, the Spirit Lifter, is a big spiral we're climbing up. So as we're climbing up, there are going to be a lot of enemies. I can use Small Fry as a distraction, thankfully, in the, like, very big portions of enemies. And there's also a few things that will help me get up, like this ink wheel here. Like, here's a giant batch of enemies. Small Fry will distract most of them, and I want to destroy the big guy, because even from all the way where he is, he can kind of distract you. Need to climb up here. And then here's the super scary part where I'm super likely to die. If I, like, mess up one of these jumps, they can be pretty tight. And there's also just kind of fuzzy ooze everywhere if my movement is not very direct and specific. So, gotta be careful there. And then there's this part here where these bowling balls, octo bowlers, are coming down. And instead of waiting out on platforms like the game wants me to, I can try and jump around them, as you can see, to make sure I don't hit them, but still make it up the part as quickly as possible. That's the end of the first part of the Spirit Lifter, but there's still a little more, once again, with a big skip I'm going to try and show off, but no guarantees. That has a death chance on it, but I'm deciding to do it. So here, the first class, these bulkheads are going to close, and we need to collect these energy cores in order to open them up, and then hit a switch. We can use this. First off, for those that remember my interview, I was sad that the Spider-Man arm wasn't in the run anymore. With this skip, it's back in. Smiley face. So this is the zip caster. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to position myself at the edge of this bulkhead, and I'm going to try and zip cast to the edge of it as I open the gate. And I'm going to, well, let's just say I'm not in bounds right now. So I need to climb up the outside of this wall until I'm about here. About here is good. I need to try and hit the very edge of this invisible plane. Zip cast onto... Okay, I need to reposition. Yeah, this can be very scary to do, so... I need to hit the very edge of this plane. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm good. Saved it. Hit the very edge of this plane. Hit something on top. Get on top of the invisible plane. And then once I'm on top of the invisible plane, I can jump through the wall using the side of the floor and end the section out of bounds. I was very inconsistent at that until literally yesterday. So that was incredibly scary to do. But
that was amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know who found that, but the skip finders in this game have been phenomenal. I mentioned I'm not much of a skip finder myself in the interview, but like Splatoon, outside of like one major skip in Splatoon 1, has been relatively like solidly built in speedrun context. This game has gotten absolutely destroyed. So like I don't know the names of too many people who found all these skips, but if you're watching this and you found one of the skips that I used in this run, shoutouts to you, because all of these skips are just incredible and this game is amazing. With this being said, before the final boss, is 4 minutes of cutscene. And if I got my menu storage right, we're then skipping that final boss into 2 minutes of cutscene before the final phase of the final boss. So, donation time, announcement time, go for it. I need to drink water.
Oh, beautiful. I'm just gonna say, you all at home, I better not run out of donations. Put some more in. I'll start with $16 from Till Wolfie, who says, 2 verifications for the big verified boop checkboard, please. Followed by $8 from Hollow Hero, donating $8 to verify Awoo. Awoo! That's my partner, and he definitely just wanted me to Awoo again. Thank you, Hero.
Thanks, Hero.
There's $182 from Comfy Panda. I think I have the count right. So this goes to the last 91 boop checkworks. Keep those $8 donos coming. Another $8 from Fraz Bright14. One more checkboard, please. Just Some Andy donates $24 and says, new PB hype! Which we have, in fact, reached a new Fastest Furs Fall Fest PB. The old PB was $14,269, and we have surpassed that at $14,322 and counting. And one more donation for now, $35 from Radicoon, who says, verified earrings as requested, please. So you now have your earrings, Laurie.
Alright, does getting the incentive mean I also have to share my pizza hot take?
Yes, but we haven't met the incentive just yet.
Oh,
we're at 1,246 out of 1,500. Just over $250 more for this incentive. We're so close, but this run's almost over.
Yeah. Again, maybe I won't be skipping the first phase of the final boss if I mess it up. So you might have more time, but don't bank on it, because I could be a gamer.
Exactly. And remember, this is for the After Alterna bonus level, which means more marathon.
Which means like 10 to 15 more minutes of Splatoon.
Exactly. We have an anonymous $16 donation, which says, please put a pair of verification sunglasses on Laurie. Thank you. And $28 from Tech50, who says, awoo! Hashtag Bandit Brigade. Thank you all so much for your generosity, as always, this entire weekend. It means a lot to not only us here at Fastest Furs, but I'm sure Trans Lifeline really appreciates it as well. And of course, all the trans and gender non-conforming people that they are helping, of course, appreciate it. That's me too.
Yo!
Let's go! Oh, also, if you haven't refreshed your chat yet, in like the last 20 minutes, you might want to, because the sub badges are now verification checkmarks as well.
That's awesome.
They're all over the screen. Oh my gosh.
This is something, alright.
This sure is. Comfy Panda with $20 more. This is for the last 10 boop checkmarks. PB hype? Trans rights hype?
Oh my goodness. Alright, so here's the big moment of truth where I see if I got my menu storage correct. After the end of these small bits here, where Mr. Grizz shows up, I'm going to pause the game at the start of this phase of the fight. If I did it right, it'll skip the entire first part of the fight. So here's the moment of truth. Almost. Alright, so I have to actually do the fight. So, the first phase of Mr. Grizz, which, unfortunate, but also, I didn't practice it too much because I hoped I would get menu storage, but thankfully, it's easy. Essentially, what we need to do is we need to pick up these golden eggs in order to break fuzzy ooze barriers, and then eventually bring them to Mr. Grizz himself, and destroy a fuzzy ooze patch on his body. And he has 3 of those. So, that's the first one done already. But there is a lot of animation in between each hit, so it does take a little bit. And there's also something he does in the middle of phases 2 and 3 that takes a little bit of time. So I'll explain that once we see it, but he does have a lot of animation real quick. Very animated game. A lot of Splatoon bosses are like this. A lot of cutscene in between the bosses, which makes the bosses very exhilarating, but also like, oh my god, just let me like fight you. So yeah, in phases 2 and 3, Mr. Grizz is going to start rolling, which will rotate the entire rocket ship. So we have to run along with the rotation so that we don't get absolutely destroyed by space. Because we are in space. Lore checkup, this game is messed up. So I got all the golden eggs, and he's going to do this animation where he gets back up, and that's actually a great time to destroy the fuzzy ooze patch, because he just kind of gets up. He doesn't do an attack, he just kind of has to stand up and not do anything. I also can say some sad words now, because I'm looking at the timer on the stream. I do love the verified marks, but also this definitely would have been a PB if I got menu storage. Good run, though. Means the run was good.
That's wild, though, because that menu storage happens, what, like 10 minutes before it actually takes effect?
So long before it actually
That's
takes
absurd.
effect. Yeah. It's a very, like, sad time. Makes this run really stressful. I'll say that much.
I bet.
oh, I just got broken. Oh, that's content. Oh, this is content. Oh, this is content. I'm alive. I don't know how I'm alive. Usually I like to break the second fuzzy ooze barrier before he starts rotating on cycle 3. It shouldn't matter too much, though, as long as I destroy the fuzzy ooze in a timely enough manner, which, like, I know where the orb is. Oh, I didn't get the 5th golden, though.
I just saw that. I don't know how you're alive either. Oh my gosh.
Gaming.
Verified gaming.
This dude is on my butt today. Jesus. This might actually get bad. Okay. Okay, he almost hit me with the laser attack, but it's fine. So yeah, this is the cutscene we would have gotten to immediately had I gotten the menu storage, but that's the first phase of the final boss. You know, just giving you a little more gameplay. And he's going to just absolutely destroy that rocket.
I need to give an update on this incentive.
You have like another minute of cutscene. Go for it.
Perfect. The after alternate bonus level incentive is at $1,378 out of $1,500. That is 122 more dollars to go.
In like
we are
3 minutes.
So close. Yeah, in like 3 minutes. Go, like seriously, go right now! Exclamation point! Donate! Don't waste any time. Go, go, go! In the meantime, here's $8 from Burstic Badger, who says, "I went this whole marathon and didn't get my boop checkport yet. What was I thinking?" Sporadic Erratic donates $50. Okay, gotta donate one more time to get double checkborked. Awoo. Goto with $20. Trans Rights, $8 from Rhythm B, who says, "Things I want. My verification checkmark, meeting the bonus incentive, legalize Awoo." And $10 from Leander, I hope I got that right, who says, "Big Bear Hype."
So, with the power of the Calamari incantation, Small Fry is about to get big on him, as I say. Yeah,
There's
here
a
he is.
line. Oh, sorry.
So here's Huge Fry. There's a line.
I was gonna say, there's a line in the Omnibar that is just entirely checkworks. I think that's beautiful. But we're not
So-
done yet. You all can't be done yet. We need $122 more for that incentive within the next, like, 2 or 3 minutes.
The next, like, 2 minutes. So
Yeah.
this fight takes advantage of the ink vac that Octavio used on his mech during the very first fight with him an hour ago. So now what we're going to do is he has 4 fuzzy ooze patches on his body, and we need to suck up all of those.
We met it. Sorry, I have to interrupt. We met it.
Oh,
It's
we met
over.
it?
We did it.
Let's go! All right.
Okay, you can keep going now.
All right, so yeah, we have to get all 4 of the ink patches on his body. As you can see at the top, this fight is on a hard timer of 3 minutes and 33 seconds, because of course it is. We also do need to make sure that the Octobot King, the mech that Octavio is piloting, doesn't get damaged, because it can take damage, and it will knock us really far away from the from Mr. Grizz if we do take damage. In this phase in particular, while Try and Grizz are fighting, Grizz is very open to the idea of slapping us in the face. So we gotta be big careful there. But like, we're only 50 or so of the 3.5 minutes or 50 seconds of the 3.5 minutes time limit, and we are already done with half of the fuzzy ooze patches we need to defeat. So these stamps can be pretty annoying. I want to destroy the one with the headphones on the first cycle because it has a lot more health. And then I can go right back to sucking up this vacuum. If I get really lucky here, which unfortunately I didn't, I can finish this fuzzball, this third fuzzball that I need to suck up before those bouncing Octotroopers hit me. Just like a small time thing if you're lucky. And then the last hit is here. There's a lot of really weird moving fake fuzzballs that I need to avoid, and also a lot of really weird and annoying enemy patterns. So I'm going to prep Splat Bomb, actually, and throw one just to see what it does to the AI. The dude behind the shield is being really annoying, unfortunately, but I did get him. Alright, and that's all the enemies. Now I just need to finish sucking up this fuzzball. But we're not quite done yet, because the Ink Vac is a special in the multiplayer that has a second functionality. After we vacuum all the fuzzballs, with your vacuum, you can shoot a giant shot right back, and time is going to be when the text at the bottom of the screen disappears. And that is time. That is Splatoon 3.
Very well done, Laurie. A verifiably great run. Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm. Again, definitely would have been PB if I got that menu storage, which I'm happy with considering, like, how many of the skips in this game are super difficult. You saw them, right? Like,
Yeah,
oh
no, that was that was awesome.
I submitted this game when it was like a week old, and I was like, yeah, it's got a few small skips, but it's overall really cool with a lot of fun levels. It exploded in 2 months, let me tell you. But I'm super happy that I was just able to like keep up with it and even put on this run in the first place. There were so many times I was so stressed learning new skips that I was just like, oh gosh.
I'm really glad that this was the finale. I think it works out very nicely.
I'm super happy to have been the finale. Again, I mentioned it in my interview. I've done so many marathons. I've been the opening so many times. I've never been the finale. It's such a nice feeling.
It is. It's a great feeling.
Yeah. We've had you like close to our finale before, I think.
I have one finale in my career, and it was Power Up with Pride, Winter Pride 2020, I think. Something like that.
I think I was Power Up with Pride Summer 2020 opener. And then I was like second run of that winter. So yeah, here, I'll show the ending cutscene. Because I want to talk about something real quick while we're talking about Deep Cut, actually. So for those that don't play Splatoon 3, you might know that, or you might not know, but there are these special events that happen every so now and often called Splatfests, where for a weekend, you pick a team represented by one of the idols, in this case Shiver Fry or Big Man, and you play online matches to fight for that team. To celebrate the release of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet on Friday, there was a Splatfest this weekend that I was playing a lot of, the Splatfest between what is the best partner Pokemon type, Grass, Fire, and Water. So, I'm going to close the game, close the credits, and open up my main file so I can go to After Alterna, and we're gonna figure out which team won. Which partner Pokemon type is the best, Grass, Fire, or Water? So let's see it. So nothing's going down. Breaking news. So the first thing that Splatfest gets score on is who got the most conch shells, which are collectibles you get by leveling up the week before Splatfest starts, which first 10 points go to Team Water. Most votes is which one was the most popularly picked team, which goes to Team Water again. And then for Open and Pro battles, we see which team got the most points for winning battles, which... Let's go, Team Water! I was on Team Water.
Team Water gang. I don't have the game, but let's go Team Water anyway.
Team Water destruction.
The clean sweep.
The absolutely clean sweep.
Water sweep.
That's my first Splatfest win. I was not on the winning team the other 2 times. And then the game is making me watch the stage rotation. Thank you, game.
I'll sneak in a quick donation.
Go for it.
Frazbright76 donates $64 and says, "Come on, let's do this." And that was part of the final push that got us to that incentive. And by the way, just because we met that incentive doesn't mean you all have to stop donating. It's all still going to Trans Lifeline. Great cause. You can still get your donations in. It's not done. We're not done yet.
Right. I want to get a shirt back on because I feel really funny without a shirt back on. There we go. So, yeah. I'm on my main file because you have to complete every level to unlock After Alterna. And once you do, it's back here. There are 2 upgrades I want to talk about real quick before we start. The first one is the Burst Bomb, a very small ink tank bomb that instantly explodes on contact, and Curling Bombs, which go out in a very far straight line when thrown. I'm going to be using the Curling Bomb a lot in After Alterna because it just paints for me and I can swim behind it. So that's one of the big things here. With that being said, we can pop into the level. Funny story, I mentioned during the run that you get eggs for clearing levels. The first time you ever clear a level, you get a first time clear bonus, and it's like usually huge depending on, like, compared to the normal level completion bonus. For After Alterna, the level completion bonus on a first time clear is 3,333 power eggs. On repeat playthroughs, it's 3,332. So, little funny there. But this is the first section here, and it's a pretty standard level in this section. It uses a lot of the movement techniques, like you're seeing a lot of squid surges right here to get up uninkable walls. Just like that. But the big thing to keep in mind here is, like, the lack of checkpoints. I still have not gotten one, and, like, this level split into 4 sections, and only one of those 4 sections has a midway checkpoint in it. All the other ones you have to do in one go. So, I'm gonna keep going, but if I die, I still have to start over. Which makes this level very scary. I will say that. I'm gonna drop on this guy and kill him just to be safe, because he can be annoying with this wall. Alright, we can sneak past those octopods there with the curling bomb. Very... not tight, but very, like, scary-looking skip for sure. And then this sniper, as long as we just keep moving through this section at max speed, should never hit us. There we go. And then moving on to the end, this section has a lot of notoriety. These blocks move backwards, and we have to go on them, like this, to try and make it to the wall on the side. Oh boy. This is getting dicey. I'm gonna try inking the wall, get ready, and... oh, I miss it. Okay. Oh my god. Panicking, 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 panicking. I need to squid surge here and jump. Fortunately, there's only a set amount of blocks here, and the paint doesn't wash off of them, so after you ink every block on here once, you don't have to ink them again, and that makes it easier to make it to the wall, ending the first section of the level. Oh, that was scary. So now we're on to section 2, which is based off of a target level, which are a level type in the base game here. Essentially, we need to ride these rails, and target balloons will pop up on the rails, and we need to pop all of the target balloons to activate more rails. If we don't activate them in time, we will have no rail to jump on, and we will just fall into the water below. So... this is, I'd say, one of the easier sections. I'd say the first and last sections, so the first and fourth, are the, like, super hard ones. But 2 and 3 are, well, they're not easy, per se. They're a bit more relaxing. So if anyone is donating mid-level, now's a good time.
I still just have some left over. TVOXS donates $56. Have another 7 verifications. $16 more from Comfy Panda. 8 more Boop checkborks. We're so close to the incentive. $8 from Adalor. I didn't get my checkbork earlier, so may as well do it now while I can. Thanks again for having me on to host on Friday. And $25 from Elon Muskie Husky. I hate that I just read that. I will not stand for this. I'm going to sue. You barked up the wrong tree, buddy.
I got it.
Oh boy.
What if we told him that it was a parody?
Oh no.
You think that wouldn't be good?
But it's not a parody. It's been verified multiple times.
Oh shoot, you're right.
We know it's not a parody because it's verified.
That's fair. That's the end of the rail section, by the way. Pretty clean. Coming up next is a bit of a puzzle section. This is the only section with a midway checkpoint. So this uses soaker blocks, which weren't in a level that I played. So essentially, soaker blocks has a source. They have a source block on them, and when that block gets inked, it will. Oh, I got tricked there. When a source block gets inked, it will expand a whole path of blocks that come out that we can move on. Unfortunately, there I got tricked. And basically, the enemy eye in this game is, like, decent. And they will also consider small fry as, like, a threat, I guess you could call it. So, that one was aiming at small fry, and it shot at the soaker block. And it caused the soaker block to shrink back a few of its, like, pathways because it was being hit by enemy ink. That's what soaker blocks do. They also, like, are afraid of enemy ink. I'm throwing a lot of burst bombs here. The button to call back small fry up on the D-pad. My controller's D-pad isn't great, and a lot of times it will accidentally tack another D-pad direction when I try and hit up or down. Okay, there we go. That was a bit scary. I was, like, not hooking onto that wall, but we're good. Have to wait a little bit here, and then jump out, and we are on this path of soaker blocks with an enemy sprinkler rapidly blasting at the source block, so the path behind us is shrinking very quickly. Fortunately, it's not really hard to rush through that, and now we are at the checkpoint of this section. So yeah, this is the section with the midway checkpoint. The midway checkpoint here introduces the octo torpedoes, which are these like little missiles that fire at a set rate, and we can ride on some of them. Some of them have platforms on top of them, you might notice, like these ones. So we need to, for this part of the level, hitch a ride. And now we have to kind of keep this going. Oh, I don't know why I went for that. I'm a little bit silly. Alright, I'm up here. And the next one that comes out at this point should be the next one I can ride. There we go. Alright, let's try this again. We need to destroy this enemy sprinkler, and then... Oh, I messed up. Okay. I didn't want to ink all these soaker blocks after destroying the sprinkler, because what I need the soaker blocks to do is disappear so that the little rideable guys don't run into them and explode. So this part is all about striking the balance, where you need to destroy the enemy sprinklers to move on, but you don't want to ink the block too hard, because otherwise the blocks will reappear in your own color and will still block the enemies. Thankfully, this section is pretty easy. We just have to get Small Fry to block the shooter, and then we can make it through. And now we only have one more section to ride on before we're done with this part of the level. I need to get a burst bomb onto this balloon, and then it blows up this soaker block here. And that is the end of part 3. And now we're into the final part, the most difficult. This is another type of level that has been in Splatoon single player since Splatoon 1. This is the Octoling Gauntlet. So Octolings are like basically AI player characters. Obviously we can play as them, but we're playing as an Inkling in this run. They're like AI player characters, and these ones in particular are very good AI. Throughout the series, you will usually fight Octolings of various AI levels. These ones are like all turned to the max. And the third wave of Octolings out of the 3 in this section have an extra dirty secret to them, which I will get to once we get to that section. But for now, I'm just going to start using some specials. The game starts giving us canned specials, and we need to pick up a special before we can get the next one. So I'm going to be picking up in a cycle to try and get some good specials, but the thing is, with how good the AI is in this section, a lot of these specials are like a death sentence to use, kind of. So you're not going to see too many of them. I'm picking up the Reef Slider here, which is one I'll probably use. And here's where the Octolings get specials. So they're going to get basically all of them in the game. This one's a Wave Breaker. I just destroyed it. You can destroy it. It has HP. But essentially it puts waves across the ground that if you don't jump over them will damage you and locate you to the enemies. I just got armor broken, so I'm going to try and stay in this corner and be careful and not die, but they're firing 10 missiles at me, which are like block-on missiles, very tricky to avoid. I also see them with big bubblers over here, which are like giant shields. This special I'm picking up is basically a death wish if I pick it up, and yeah, I kind of got teamed up on. This section is ridiculous. So Once again, no checkpoints at all. You do get one piece of backup armor at the very beginning of this section. However, it's very easy for that piece of armor to just instantly kind of break. And ideally, you would want to carry it to the ending fight, but the AI is just too good. I always lose it in part 1. So the last two are right here. The upgraded sensor, which I have on the save file, which allows for the same tracking capabilities even when I'm not submerged in ink, is very helpful in making this a lot easier, because I can locate some octolings that I may not have exact vision on. Good. The Trizuka has a little bit of a weird shot arc because it's technically 3 different projectiles being shot at it. And then the last of section 2 of wave 2 is running away from me right now. Alright, I'm going to do my best to like paint the ground so I have more movement options in my time of need. They don't really paint the ground too much except for when they're attacking you. So if you can keep good paint on the ground, you will consistently have a lot more mobility options throughout the gauntlet. I'm just kind of not hitting them. Okay, that was a weird attack. Oh god. Okay, I'm good. The Inkjet, which is what's right here, is another one that's kind of a death sentence. With just like how good the AI are, they're going to snipe you out of the air. However, the special that spawns after it, the Crab Tank, does have an invincibility mode. So I'm going to pick it up, probably not be able to use it instantly, but I'm going to keep it because it can save me if I am in a panicking situation. It is vulnerable from the back, though, so I do need to be careful. But yeah, this rolling mode is really good. Oh, I got broken during it. I got broken in the animation trying to get out of it. That was unfortunate. Yeah, this section just like has not been agreeing with me recently, so hopefully this third try is the charm. If not, that hit me from there? Oh my gosh. You remember when I said the AI is good? I think it cheats. Would it really be good AI if it didn't cheat, though? I think that's like what it means to be good AI in a video game. This is what that means. Oh, they're behind me. Yeah, okay. Section 1 done again. Grab the Trizuka. Camp this jump. Good. The second one of those two that jumps uses a Brella, a Splat Brella, which after you do a shot with a Splat Brella, it will pop up a shield. So I need to like kill that one fast, otherwise it will be behind the shield and be annoying. Where is this last guy? Oh, okay. Platforms are moving down. There is no last guy. We're back to wave 3. Wish me luck. And okay, I destroyed that one before its wave breaker came out. That one just came out. I know where this guy is. There's a person there shooting missiles at me. Some of these specials, while you're activating them, you can't be using your main weapon. So that's a very good time if I see one pop their special on me to just like start going at them. And the Reef Slider that I have right now can also destroy some specials, like this big bubbler. So that's really good for me. I'm going to try and get to this Inkjet just so I can get to the Crab Tank. Drop a bomb this direction to try and scare them off. Get this roller, okay. I'm going to back up until I'm healed. Good kill on that Brella. I'm going to pop my Crab Tank here, actually. Usually I don't want to use it stationary in this section, but I figure it might be good. Only 3 more. You need to see the last 2. I see both of them. One of them just specialed me. One of them's dead. That's it. Yes! I got it! Alright, there we go. That's after Alterna. Just land from the super jump, slide the curling bomb into the log. That is a stressful level. Took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but what can you do? Again, that last section is just wow.
That was impressive. Good job.
Yeah. That level is very difficult. Sorry.
Well, you said, Laurie, that if we met the incentive, you would share your pizza opinion, and we have more than met the incentive.
My pizza opinion. I forgot about that. Okay, so here's my thing, right? I'm not my hot topic.
Your hot topic.
Take,
Sorry.
My hot take about pizza is not about toppings, actually. But it's more about a general part of the pizza than pizza itself. I have to do white pizza because I hate a lot of sauces, because I hate just about anything with tomato in it.
You know what? I actually understand that, because I had a pizza with white sauce once, and it was actually really good. I understand.
I mean, it's literally not just a preference thing of white sauce. I just hate a lot of tomato sauces.
Yeah.
So that's my pizza take. I can't do tomato.
It has been revealed.
With that being said, I want to give a few shout-outs. One to the Splatoon community. I'm not too active in there, but I've been running the first game since 2016. They've always been a pretty fun group of people. I want to give a few individual shout-outs. First to Von Karn for making the PNG tuber I've been using. One to, and I believe they donated earlier, Sleepy Theo and Vesper, who is one of my main squads to play this game with. Love playing this game with them, and I love playing this game in general. This is such a fun game. And I want to give two more shout-outs, actually. Two more. One, I want to give a shout-out to my friend Danny, who has helped me with calming a lot of the nerves I had going into this run and this weekend in general. Thank you so much. And I want to give one last shout-out to my friend Niceness, because it's their birthday.
Yo, happy birthday.
It technically just ended on the East Coast, but happy birthday, Niceness. And with that, that is all for me, except for the fact that I have a credit slideshow to run. But we're gonna take a small break while I get that set up. So thank you for enjoying Splatoon.
I have a couple things to say before we let you go. There is one last donation here for me to read. $20 from Anonymous. Didn't even realize the marathon was almost over, so I'd better get this donation in. Congrats to all runners. Also, if you all want a shirt, ! merch, make sure to get it like right now. The marathon's basically over. But with that, I am out of here myself. It was an honor to host this finale. I had a lot of fun. Super fun hosting Shift. Thank you, Fastest First, for having me. Great stuff, Laurie. Fantastic run. Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here before I get a noise complaint because I'm yelling about checkworks at 11 at night. Have a great night, everyone. But don't go away yet. Stay tuned, because not only do we have the credit slideshow, but I also got word that Team Fastest Furs has a big announcement coming up. So don't go away just yet. I'll see y'all later.